Hello, my name's Stanza. I'm an artist. I'm from London. I'm here to present a piece of work called Capacities. Capacities is a piece of work about the real-time live data in the city. It's a work in two halves. The piece in London is a wireless sensor network which consists of components scattered around the city collecting environmental data, light, temperature, two types of sound, noise and a sounder board. All of this data is then collected across 15 sensors over an area of a couple of miles in South London around my house. So it's my own wireless sensor network collecting real-time data that I then make an artwork with. The artwork in the gallery is an installation, again, of computer parts and computer systems that's made to look like a real city. The essential concept is the idea of moving data from one place to another, then representing it in another form. In this case, the real-time data within London. Capacities in the gallery consists of thousands of LEDs and electronic components that all move and shift over time. These events in the gallery are being triggered by events in another place. So essentially what we have is the real world, the real city, made virtual and made real again in another place. Embedded within this work is the notion of control space and surveillance space. The whole city becomes a place which we can monitor through new technologies. So the technologies that I'm using here are essentially monitoring and surveying the environment, and then representing them in a more open or, let's say, cultural way. Embedded within this idea of real-time data is the notion that we're moving numbers around. I think within the modernist age, one of the great scientific discoveries was the idea that if we move around the data space as a body, we displace the atoms around us. So if I wave my hand in front of me, it actually displaces something. And this has other consequences. Things change over time. So the instruments that I use can actually measure this in, let's say, an after-modern way. They can translate this shift over time into something that can be represented. So what's happening here is these numbers, this binary system, is then exchanged over the networks that I use. So within Capacities, there's data shifting over open networks without borders to represent this artwork. Also embedded in the artwork are several very small CCTV cameras. These actually then embed the audience back inside the work in the gallery space. So there's this reciprocal interactivity. The notion of interactivity within the work is actually very much part of the work. The body, I believe, is by default already embedded within the notion of interactivity. So the work is actually a responsive, interactive environment. The work Capacities has been in development really from its initial stages in 2004, and then the first and last version was built between 2010 and 2011. And the work is documented online at my website, stanza.co.uk.